For this bear shoulder tap position, you're gonna lift your knees off of the floor, driving in with your toes and your arms, and your knees should be underneath your hips while your hands should be underneath your shoulders. So you can see here, I'm pushing off, my knee is barely hovering off the floor. It's not up like this, but it's barely hovering. And then from here, you're gonna load one arm with most of your weight and then shift over, tap your hand to the opposite shoulder, and then switch. Now I'm gonna load my opposite arm, and I'm gonna tap this hand to the opposite shoulder. And I'm just gonna go back and forth. Make sure to stay engaged in the shoulder blade. Don't let the shoulder blade sag. So you're staying strong here.
So in the push-up plus shoulder tap, the most important thing is that you're holding the plus position at the top. So as you notice, I'm gonna get in this full plank position, and then I'm going to be actively pushing the ground away from me, engaging my shoulders, my serratus, and pushing that ground like I'm strong and stable, no one can come push me over. In terms of the feet, you can keep your toes together. It's gonna be a lot harder on the core. It's not really gonna change too much on the shoulders. I'd recommend starting out with a little bit of a wider stance. So again, this is our start position, boom. From here, you're gonna shift weight over to one side, keeping that shoulder engaged, and you're gonna tap with your opposite arm. Then you're gonna shift to the other side and tap. As you're shifting weight to this right side, try not to lose that engagement in the shoulder. If you're not able to put all the weight on it, that's totally okay. Don't shift that far. It means you may not be ready for the full exercise. But again, as I'm shifting weight to my right, I'm not gonna lose this. I'm gonna keep it engaged, then I'm gonna tap. As you get better at this, you can then try not to shift your weight. Try to stay exactly in the middle, and then tap. More of a demand on your core this way.
Okay, so with the half kneeling landmine press, if I'm pressing with the left arm, I'm going to be down on my left knee because this hip is really supporting my body. Staying strong through here, I don't want to arch. I gotta stay really strong in that left hip. And now if you want, you can get your arms going with it. So as I press with the left, squeeze the right arm back, and then alternate, press up, down, press up. When you come down, this is where I like to be positioned. I like my elbow under my fist, so you don't want to be too far away from the barbell. You don't want to be too close. Try to get set up where you can have your elbow under your fist and your fist in front of your shoulder, and then press up. You're gonna feel your triceps working, your shoulder, as well as the muscles on the outside of your shoulder blade working. Okay, so with this exercise, we're staying nice and strong, standing tall. I feel like I'm leaning a little bit forward, holding the barbell with both hands at the end like this. I'm slowly bringing the barbell down towards my chest and then exploding up. Of course, if you had more weight on this, you could perform it slowly. If it was really heavy, you could also bring your legs into it a little bit. But what I'm focusing on is strict bilateral barbell press. Just trying to use my upper body. So with this exercise, I want you to grab a band. We're here standing. Focus on keeping the rest of our body still. Just our arms and our shoulder blades are moving. So when my arms are here, my shoulder blades are apart. I'm using bands where I have enough tension where it's challenging when I bring my arms out to the side. So I'm focused on squeezing my shoulder blades back together, bringing my hands apart, squeezing all the muscles behind my shoulders, in between my shoulder blades. I'm bringing my hands to where they're about in line with my shoulders. You can go back further if you want to really get further a squeeze, but at least go until you're in line with the rest of your body. So be there, squeeze back, squeeze your shoulder blades back, slowly let your arms come back forward and repeat. You should feel the muscles behind your shoulder and in between your shoulder blades getting a workout with this exercise.
For this exercise, you want to find an elevated surface. The higher you go, the easier it is. The lower, the little more demanding that it is. And so from here, you want to stay strong in the scapula. What I mean by that is you push the scapula away from you, and in this position, you're going to reach one arm to the opposite shoulder. What you want to focus on is staying engaged in the core and minimizing rotation at the trunk. So you stay here, tap, and then you repeat with the opposite arm. Stay strong, and then go back and forth. For this exercise, I'm going to begin on my hands and knees, walk my hands out, and then I'm going to drop my hips so that my hips are in between my knees and my shoulders. And then from here, I'm going to make sure my shoulder blades are engaged and my core is engaged. So my core is engaged here. I'm holding this position. If someone's going to punch me, I'm keeping that core strong. This is oftentimes done by tucking your tailbone in, kind of like this. Not arching it, but tucking it. Now, once you have this stable position, you're going to perform shoulder taps. So shoulder taps are achieved by leaning your body weight over onto one arm and then tapping that shoulder with the opposite, and then slowly returning, accept that weight on that arm again, and then tap the shoulder with the opposite arm. The goal here is to avoid rotation. You're going to keep everything engaged here to avoid this rotation from happening. Tap, and then come back. Tap, nice and controlled, and come back. And you're going to feel your shoulders working as well as your core with this exercise.